In the last 10 days, we've seen some crazy things. Riotous vandalizing, the senseless taking of life, and multiple personal injuries in our nation's capital, and the first ever second impeachment of a sitting president. Political rhetoric is white hot, and prophetic musings can be heard from just about every street corner and pulpit in the country. Amid speculations of the end of democracy and the new COVID vaccine being the quote-unquote mark of the beast, the question is, how should we respond as the people of God these days? Now, it might be a little surprising to you, but I think we can hear the Lord say, "Fear not." Especially if we go back to Psalm 23, where we've been for the last few talks. Once again, we find these words out of the mouth of the Holy Spirit, off of the pen of King David, saying this: "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Now, for those of you who grew up in church, those words will likely fall off your tongue quite naturally, likely followed by the sense of serenity and security that follows such truth. However, in the original language of the Old Testament, the phrase at the end of that verse can also just as accurately be translated, "They give me courage." How's that for a little different perspective of what has historically been a rather calm and peaceful pastoral scene? More importantly, doesn't that seem to fit the context of this psalm as well? In the valley of darkness, how would you want to walk through it? How would the Lord want to see you moving through such an environment? You see, I think it's in keeping with the nature of Jesus and the personality of King David, the author, that a stroll through the valley of darkness, or what older translations would call the valley of the shadow of death, would be taken with courage more than, or at least along with, comfort. Now, why does that appear more reasonable? Well, it's because of the Lord's rod and staff. Those implements in the hands of a trained shepherd were lethal and life-saving tools, as the staff was designed to pluck sheep from harm's way and the rod to deliver lethal impact. A hungry predator was no match for a skilled warrior like a shepherd. In my formative days as a pitcher, on the mound, in the heat of battle, this was the relationship that I enjoyed with my coach. Many times in situations with games on the line and championships seemingly hanging in the balance, an umpire could make a bad call on a pitch, or a check swing by a batter, or a rule application that could create a situation for us as a team in which we felt hopeless, powerless, and defeated by virtue of the authority operating behind the plate. However, in more than one situation, our blue, steely-eyed, 6'3", 240-pound coach would approach an umpire with the gait of a warhorse. Between the intensity of his stare, the determination in his voice, and the unwavering confidence and competence as a former player, he always left us, more determined and courageous, no matter what situation we were left with at the end of his little conference with the umpire. Now think about Jesus for a moment. Cloaked in the vestment of the high priest, eyes of fire, feet of bronze, barrel-chested, nail-scarred hands, and a tongue like a double-edged sword. Our shepherd. And he's with us in the darkest valleys. Is that comforting? Yes. But even more, that should give us courage. So listen, friends, we have a purpose in this age. We have a game to play, a mission to accomplish. There are people to rescue. So come what may, riots, chaos, conspiracies, persecutions, or the like, we not only can take comfort, we can be courageous. So stand firm, my friends, no matter what dark valley you may be in at this point. For our God is with us. He's with you. God bless you. Love you all. Hope to see you Sunday.